Senator Hanson-Young is escalating her criticism of her former colleague.
Yeah, she's essentially said that she thinks it's unfair for an MP or a senator to be elected by the Australian people to serve under one party and then for that person to switch sides, if you like. I think this speaks more broadly to the anger being felt within the Greens over WA Senator Dorinda Cox's decision to defect from the Greens to Labor. It was a bombshell announcement when that happened early this week. At the time, Senator Cox said that she's leaving the Greens for Labor because she feels that her values align more closely with Labor, and she was a member during her youth. Senator Hanson-Young's comments, though, are interesting. They're certainly more critical than that of Greens leader Larissa Waters earlier this week, who said that she wished Senator Cox well, and here was Senator Hanson-Young in at the press gallery a short time ago.
It's not fair to the voters and indeed any of the parties involved that if somebody is elected as one party and then jumps ship later on, I do think the honourable thing is to resign from the Parliament. But that's not the rules, so we're left where we are. There is a bit of hypocrisy, of course, about how Labor has responded to this. It wasn't okay to jump ship for Fatima Payman, but apparently when it's people coming to them, it's all okay.
It comes as the Greens have revealed that they've dropped an investigation into allegations of bullying against Dorinda Cox. So we'll remember they emerged at the end of last year as she apologised to some of her former staff members over those claims. They have, though, resurfaced this week and said that they're pretty disappointed that Senator Dorinda Cox had moved to Labor, and essentially we have confirmed that those investigations were active but now have been dropped because essentially the Greens no longer have jurisdiction over this senator because she's now sitting with Labor. This contradicts somewhat Anthony Albanese's comments earlier this week in which he said that in his mind those claims or allegations had been dealt with appropriately. He was pressed on this issue again this morning and he stood by his new senator.
Dorinda Cox has decided that the way that she wants to go forward is as a member of the Labor team because she wants to make a difference, and the Greens political party have lost their way. I must say as well that the Liberal Party have lost their way.
And Labor will likely negotiate with the Greens, Olivia, to get its superannuation bill over the line.
Yeah, this legislation is proving to be a little bit of a political flashpoint this week. So earlier in the week, the Prime Minister said that he would be willing to negotiate with either the Coalition or the Greens to get this superannuation bill rubber stamped by Parliament. So essentially it's to increase or double the taxes paid on superannuation balances of $3 million. But there are some sticking points from both sides. So the Greens, for example, would like that balance reduced to $2 million and it also to be indexed to inflation. The Coalition agrees that it should be indexed to inflation, but they also say that there would be a room essentially for capital gains tax upon that. So essentially that some of these super balance holders would have to pay a tax on earnings for, I guess, some of their investments that haven't been sold. Ultimately, that is a bit of a red line for them, and Shadow Treasurer Ted O'Brien took aim at the government for this policy earlier.
The Treasurer is saying he's proceeding anyway, and he's running to the warm embrace of the Greens in the hope of just jacking up taxes. So we're clear with our principles: lower taxes, simpler taxes, fairer taxes.
Also, in the Prime Minister's press conference this morning, he indicated that things are progressing well in terms of Australia's negotiations with the European Union for a free trade agreement. The Trade Minister, Don Farrell, is in Europe as we speak. Mr Albanese, though, said that no deal would be struck if it's not in the nation's best interest.